Guys, I know I just put out a video just yesterday, but we have a lot to talk about here. We gotta put out another one. Guys, if you haven't checked out the video, how to get better at Halo in 3 minutes, make sure you check it out. We're gonna be talking about Renegade wanting to leave Cloud9. We're gonna be talking about Ryanoob's response to Spartan. And then on top of that, some roster moves that have been made in the top amateur / lower pro bracket as well. Let's get right into it. Cloud9 Halo targets phases bound as Renegade seeks move. Apparently, there's been some craziness going on with the Cloud9 roster that we had no idea about, and we're about to dive right into it. Cloud9 took home the trophy in Raleigh, kicking off their Halo Infinite 2022 season in style before falling in the grand finals to a resurgent Sentinel side in Kansas City. This is reported by Dextero, by the way. Also want to mention that they also won at Anaheim, so they're back-to-back champions leading into Kansas City, where obviously Sentinels got the best of them. While they battle for North American... What is this? What is this? While they battle for North American supremacy against the likes of Sentinels and Optic Gaming, Cloud9 could be facing some major changes as turmoil within the team has brought the players to breaking point. Sources have told Dextero that 2018 world champion Jonathan Renegade Willett is seeking pastures new with another top NA side. Also, back-to-back land champion and main slayer as voted in Raleigh. While nothing is set in stone yet and no buyouts agreed upon, Cloud9 are in talks to bring FaZe Clan's Adam Bound Gray into the fold. Bound off of FaZe, get the freak out of here. Bound is still a young gun in his Halo esports journey, with HCS Raleigh being his first major LAN tournament since he started competing in Halo 5. Bound has not been scrimming with FaZe, who are also facing issues with an Eric sniped down Rona, admitting he wants to spread his time between Halo and Apex, saying he's not happy at all with the state of Halo Infinite. I also watch Snipe Down stream very often, and even as recently as yesterday, he has said that he's committed to competing in Halo and is enjoying playing Apex, both as the ranked, but also playing in some of the tournaments, which will allow him to apply as a content creator. There's lots of tournaments out there that limit you to having like one pro, one content creator, and he would be considered a content creator if he's not competing in Apex, which usually gives him a really stacked team. Should these changes go through, the Cloud9 roster going forward would be as follows: Eco, Penguin, Stellar, and Bound. We're going to talk about this a little bit later and what I might, what some destinations for Renegade might go through, but I also noticed a couple of things here. So Penguin tweets out, "What did I wake up to at 1:55 p.m. today?" And so acting as if he's shocked. Eco, the same thing. Wait, really? Question mark. And that got me thinking. I'm like, if this wasn't true and they were surprised, I think they would immediately deny it. Like, immediately deny it. This almost seems kind of trollish. Wait, really? So I started to do a little bit of digging here. And when I did so, I saw a tweet by Eco that says, with Season 2 releasing, I'll be giving away 5 Cloud9 skin codes. Trust you want these. Enter, like, follow, and retweet. And this was tweeted out on May 11th. When I scrolled down, I saw that just 22 hours ago, Spartan tweets out, "Can I get that pistol skin?" And Eco responds with, "Might be able to make some arrangements." Now, on the surface, this just looks like friendly banter. However, if you want to dig a little bit further into it, Spartan's having problems with United. He wants to leave. He said there's a team that's willing to buy out his contract and that he was being stonewalled and stopped from going forward. What if that team was Cloud9? What if Cloud9 have been having these issues for long, which it sounds like they already had, that they actually have been, and Spartan was going to replace Renegade on Cloud9? If Cloud9 need a major slayer to go along the likes of Stellar, why not it be Spartan? Or maybe they bring in Spartan and Bound. Maybe there's a trade, but maybe there's a trade between Bound and Renegade straight up. Like, if they want Bound and FaZe said, okay, well, we need a player, maybe the trade for Renegade would make sense in that case, because that would make FaZe better, and Cloud9 feel like Bound would make them better as well, or at least be a replacement for Renegade. So right off the rip, this is crazy. Like, this is opening up Pandora's box. There are plenty of teams that are solidified with their rosters that you would normally think would never make a change. However, when Renegade hits the market, everybody picks up the phone. I love that Optic roster. However, we're talking Renegade. We're talking about a once-in-a-lifetime talent. If he becomes on the market, I think Optic are giving a call and gauging where they're at. Again, a hard commit, I don't think I see Optic hard committing to. But you know what? Frosty and Renegade have always wanted to team together. I love Sentinels. They just came off of a big win. However, again, we're talking about Renegade. Everybody picks up the phone. Maybe we see Frosty, Renegade, Royal 2 and Snakebite. How crazy would that be? United having problems with Spartan, replace a strong Slayer with another strong Slayer? Oh, that makes sense to me. What if they just decided to trade? Spartan goes to C9 and Renegade goes to United. That would make sense as well. Even a team like, I don't know, like KCP, who used to team with Renegade. What if they brought him in? Renegade makes them instantly better. And there's so many possibilities. Guys, I'm excited for a reason. Dude, Renegade's on the market. And we're about to see Rostermania. Rostermania has already started, but we want to see it even more. The question is, where does Renegade go from here? If you guys think you have the answer, drop it in the comments down below, because I know you guys are probably just as excited as I am. This is going to be sick. Going forward in more news, we had Orgre 1 going to G2 as their team manager. They still have a coach. That's Coach Callus that's on the squad. That's him right there, actually. Pretty guy. Good looking guy. Handsome dude. Orgre 1's going to be joining as the team manager. To my knowledge, Callus was handling the team manager and coaching roles, but this is going to free him up to really focus on coaching, really focus on what the issues are with G2, because I feel like they're right there. They're on the cusp of greatness. They just got to figure out how to put it together, and maybe bringing Orgre 1 in as a Halo team manager will free up Callus to really focus and really hone in on the coaching side. After that, we have several United CSGO players, went to to Spartan's defense. In case you guys haven't watched my last video, the last video I talked about this, there was actually back-to-back videos. Spartan ended up getting fined multiple times. Eventually, apparently, Spartan's been having some troubles with United, so he decides to self-bench himself, costing himself a $5,000 a month pay decrease, and on top of that, not being eligible to play. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on, but CSGO players have stepped up to his defense, talking about some of their experiences with United would be the best way to go about that. You guys can do that own research if you guys want to look further into that. I don't know too much about CS:GO, so I'm not going to sit here and even try to put my opinion on that. Another big. This was big. Because we heard Spartan's side of the story. We even heard United's side of the story, but we know that Spartan had an issue specifically with Ryanoob. He specifically named Ryanoob and called him out, saying that he did not want to team with Ryanoob. Now we get to see Ryanoob's response, and we got to go through this. It's a little bit of a long one, but stay with me because I think it's worth reading. TLDR at the end. We're not going to read the TLDR, but we're going to read the main stuff. Hey guys, late to the party, just wanted to clear up some things from my end. Situation basically played itself out and I'm reigniting it for no good reason. I figured it would be best to let the situation take its course because I'd rather avoid social media altogether, but seeing the other things unfold without the entire truth, I'd like to give more perspective on the affair. So Ryanoob, not really, Spartan loves social media. We know that. He's all about social media, where Ryanoob is the complete opposite. He wants to keep things in-house and never wants to air his dirty laundry out there. Yes, we worked on picking up Formal before Anaheim. Pre-Raleigh, we had some issues that never got resolved. We burnt ourselves out a bit playing too much, but we got second, so hopefully that lights something under us to believe in the process. This wasn't really the case. Our practices were getting hostile. We were beginning to give up on the foundations we had set, not just in-game, but out-of-game as well. And after watching Formal, I felt like he was exactly what we needed to boost our interest in practice and morale. So this so far is not too far from what Spartan said. Spartan said that, there was issues within the team that was happening. Spartan also said that he feels like Ryanoob went behind his back to try to recruit Formal and replace his duo, and that was King Nick, and United weren't talking to him about it, neither was Ryanoob. He felt like he was trying to go behind his back. Let's dig more into this because he's going to address that as well. I had always been walking on a knife's edge with Tyler, knowing one wrong argument could lead to a fallout. With this in mind, I proceeded with the idea of not telling him in case it wasn't a possible move. Every person I brought it up to as I brought it up to as of my best attempts. Unbiased question told me not to tell him. Even when asking people not involved, I talked to Formal prefacing that I hadn't told Tyler and it wasn't a sure thing. He said he was down. Management talked to Optic and couldn't reach a deal, so it was dead. As we're picking a good time to bring Tyler in, word gets out. So, I mean, I said it before, Form was the hottest free agent on the market. I feel like if every team wasn't picking up the phone to gauge where they're at, it would be a disservice to that organization. Same thing with Renegade. Renegade's on the market. I don't care how somebody has to, even if it's not a player, because I obviously don't want that. I don't think Ryanoob should have been the one reaching out on behalf of EU United, but somebody on EU United should have been reaching out to Formal, and somebody on every team needs to reach out to Renegade and gauge where they're at, and gauge interest, and try to get. It's just when you have the hottest free agent on the market, you simply that's what you have to do. You have to respect that, really. Either way, Tyler benching himself. All right, this one is a doozy. It was obvious things weren't great the past few months, but I figured enough time had passed, it was going to be fine. Got a call Thursday afternoon that Tyler didn't want to play with me. I said, all right, understood, and offered up options on where I would move to, and then heard he might move instead. EU management talked about his options too. There were so many different ways this could go, so many factors involved in it, and instead of waiting and working and letting the situation play out, he benched himself prematurely Friday night, doing a tell-all that ruins everyone's chances at figuring out what the best move is, and all I can think of is why, besides knowing him, is a misunderstanding of how this works and a miscommunication. I think so far that makes perfect sense to me. Like I don't know if it's the same premise, but I'm thinking about like this. So say for example, Anthony Davis on the Lakers wants out. So the Lakers aren't going to let everybody know this. The Lakers say, okay, well, you know what? Keep things under wrap. Make sure everything is cool. We're going to talk to some people. We're going to try to get equal value or greater value in this trade. If you want to get out of this contract, if you want to get out of this team, and you're threatening to become a nuisance, if you will, or maybe not play as hard, or whatever it is, we're going to try to find equal compensation for your talents so that we get back in return. Please do not go to the media. Please do not let this out of the room, because if he goes to the media and says, I want out, now every other organization, instead of trying to offer equal or even greater than value than that one player because they want him, now they're lowballing him. Now they're lowballing the Lakers and saying, hey, look, we'll offer you this, that, and the third. And like, no, why would we accept this offer? Hey, it's either you accept this offer or he's gonna leave on his own. Like, so what? I don't know if it's the same exact situation. And if you guys want to drop in the replies and let me know if that's a good analogy, or maybe offer a different kind of analogy on why it doesn't matter, you're more than welcome to. But that was the first thing that kind of popped into my head. The moment you air that you were unhappy and you're the one who wants to go, as opposed to the organization looking to make changes, now they're not going to receive equal compensation for you as a player because teams are going to lowball. That kind of makes sense to me, but I don't know if it's the same exact thing. Either way, first, I'm going to continue. First, he's not trapped on the team. There is a buyout in our contract. It's not a small amount, but it was somewhat reasonable. Usually in these situations, the buyout is the max, but there's negotiations based on the team's plans and whatnot. Tyler being good at this game would probably not get a lower buyout. Just lowering our cut of World's prize pool by one place would offset how much EU makes from this buyout without considering what EU would have to pay for whoever we pick up. I'm saying all of this from a logistics point of view, but as Halo players who have been through this for so long, we were working on making everything right, and barely 48 hours later, Tyler forced his hand. Now everything's weird. So only 2 days had gone by before apparently this blow up, according to Ryanoob, before Tyler went public. What now? Honestly, I have no idea. Tyler might not get bought out and stay on the bench until his contract runs out. He might get traded. I might get traded. The team could decide to want Tyler and I might get benched. Tyler might unbench himself and honestly, I'd be fine with it. I know Tyler and knew all of this could happen. He's a good Halo player and was good, albeit scary teammate for the past year. We could hash it out and work on forgiving each other, or it could be irreplaceable. I think that's important. So on this side, Ryan would say, "Hey, look, like it sounds like Ryan was like, I don't know what's happening. Either way, I just want to figure this crap out. Either I get moved, either he gets moved, or we just come together, which he's willing to do, it sounds like, and figure this out and move forward." United are still an amazing team. Like, think about it. Second place in Raleigh, amazing. Third place in Anaheim, great. Fourth place at Kansas City, some might say a drop. Honestly, I had them top 4. That's exactly where I had them. So they're still a top 4 team, even going through all of these issues. I don't see, like, to me, I'm thinking, man, figure this out. You guys are really good together. Get back to where you should be, and figure the crap out. But obviously, again, Renegade on. We're gonna go back to this tweet right here. Again, I think there's more to it. Can I get that pistol? We might make some. I think I think there's more to this than meets the eye. But either way, maybe Ryanoob does end up going to Cloud9, which would make some sense. I'm sorry, Spartan. Maybe Spartan goes to Cloud9, which would make some sense. But maybe not. Maybe Spartan. There's so much. Renegade could go to Sentinels. Renegade could go to United. He can go to FaZe. Maybe even Optic. Like, Renegade can go literally anywhere. Oh, it's crazy. I wrote this up to clear some things up, as well as point out how messed everything can end up being because of the positions we're in. In my opinion, EU doesn't deserve the flack they're getting. There was barely a day and a hair of work being done before we got to this position of everything being messed up. So it's cool that Ryanoob kind of defended United a little bit with this. I from what I'm looking at, my mother always used to say this. There's 3 sides to every story. You got his, A, B, and then somewhere in between is the truth. Somewhere between is C. So there's multiple sides to every story. I'm sure United see things their way, Ryanoob see things their way, and Spartan does, and none of them are wrong. Like, it's just that's how debates are. That's how arguments are. There's multiple sides to the story. Everybody's seeing it their way. And most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, somewhere in the middle is the truth, and that's why I think that this really could be figured out. I really do. I think United are a fantastic team, and I would love to see them stay together. But from what I'm looking at, from what I'm looking at, I don't know if that's the case. Either way, we have Aperture announcing that he's a free agent, exploring my options. I believe Aperture might have been dropped from Torrent. I believe. Now, he could have left on his own. He did say exploring options, so maybe he left on his own. But Torrent, who was literally 2 rounds away from making it to championship bracket, who, by the way, qualified for Anaheim as a top 16 team and was able to make it to Anaheim, is going to be exploring different options now without Aperture. They ended up losing 1-2 to Oxygen Esports 2 rounds before making it to championship bracket. And what's even bigger is the very team that reverse swept Oxygen Esports has made a big change as well. Groovy says free agent for the rest of the HCS season, not joking and making it sound like he might have been dropped from the squad. And with that, created a move that Alec Shock, aka one of the players on Red Wolves, picked up mortally. I'm sorry, I lost. I had it. I swear I had it. Picked up mortally a top amateur player, very much known in the 2s community, also known in the Money 8s community, has been picked up by what was that Red Wolves roster. They placed 17th through 20th at Kansas City. They dropped Groovy, and looks like they've picked up mortally from what it looks like. This is a big change going in. If this squad made top 20 and they're making a move to get even better, who knows? Maybe top 16 is in the future. maybe top 12. That would be insane. This is a squad made up primarily of Gears of War players who switched over to Halo, and they've been actually killing it. Down 0-2 in the series against Oxygen Esports. They're kind of their older brothers kind of thing. They pulled off the reverse sweep against them to knock them out and to qualify for a championship bracket. We're talking Oxygen Esports. That was absolutely insane. Either way, I think that's all I have for now. Once I figure out some more stuff, you know, we're gonna make probably have another emergency video. But Renegade is a free agent. Spartan might go, who knows? Renegade might go, who I don't even know. Everything's going crazy. If you guys haven't watched my last video that I just put out yesterday, how to get better at Halo in 3 minutes, CTF Aquarius, make sure you watch that. And then if you want to know more about the Spartan drama, just 2 videos before that one, we put in back-to-back videos about Spartan and his battle with HCS and also his battle with United. So this is crazy, guys. I'm gonna upload this right away. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.